Conor McGregor is back in the spotlight, but this time it's not for a fight. He recently lost a civil case involving SA allegations from a woman named Nikita Han. She claimed that McGregor assaulted her back in December 2018 at a Dublin hotel, and after a lengthy trial, the court ordered him to pay €250,000 in damages. This decision has sparked a lot of debates online and has put his reputation on the line. And let's be real here, McGregor has never been a stranger to controversy. Over the years, we've seen him get caught up in all kinds of situations. Some are just allegations, others are proven facts, and a few are outright attacks or SA claims. He has plenty of moments that have hurt his reputation, no doubt about it. But this civil case is for SA. Out of everything he's been involved in, this is the one that's gonna hurt him the most. It's not just another scandal that blows over in a week. Losing this civil case is gonna stick with him and really mess with both his career and his public image. Sure, his reputation was already on shaking grounds, but this is on another level that he might not be able to bounce back from. Now, it's important to understand how civil cases work compared to criminal ones. You see, in criminal courts, you need evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to convict someone, but in civil courts, the standard is much lower. It just needs to be more likely than not that the incident happened. For context, the criminal case against McGregor was dismissed twice because of insufficient evidence. However, the jury in the civil trial found enough to hold him financially responsible. McGregor, as you expect, has denied the allegations from the start. He's claimed that the encounter was consensual and has already announced plans to appeal the ruling. He's sticking to his story, saying that he's determined to clear his name. But no matter how this turns out, it's already having some serious consequences for his image and his career. I mean, let's talk about the fallout. One of the biggest hits McGregor has taken is with his business ventures. I'm talking about Proper 12 whiskey. His pride and joy has started to distance itself from him. The company that owns the major stakes, Proximo Spirits, has decided to stop using McGregor's name and face in their marketing campaign. That's a big deal since he was the main reason that so many people bought the whiskey in the first place. On top of that, some major retailers like Tesco and Super Value have even pulled the product from the shelves. McGregor still has a small stake in the company, but it's pretty clear he's no longer the face of the brand. And then there's the gaming world. You see, McGregor has been featured in a DLC mission for Hitman World of Assassinations as a character called the Disruptor. Cool, right? Well, not anymore. After the ruling, the developers of IO Interactive decided to remove the DLC entirely and cut all ties with McGregor. It's likely they're erasing any trace of him from that game. And it looks like cancel culture is back, and honestly, this is a tough one, man. On one hand, I want to defend McGregor because as a fan, it's hard not to root for him. But in the same time, it's really hard to tell if he actually did it or not. I'm not here to play judge, and honestly, none of us really are. That being said, there are definitely some things in this case that don't completely add up, which I'll break down in a bit. But let me just get this out of the way. McGregor's track record isn't exactly squeaky clean. He's done a lot of questionable and outright terrible things over the years. So if it turns out he did this, I hate to say it, but I wouldn't exactly be shocked. It's like his past behaviors has already set the stage for people to believe the worst about him. Alright, so let's dive into this case because it brought up some pretty wild details that everyone's been talking about non-stop. Nikita Han, the woman accusing McGregor, presented evidence of injuries and emotional distress, which made a strong case in court. Her claims painted a clear picture of harm she was enduring and definitely carried the weight during the trial. But here's where things get a bit murky. McGregor's defense points out several things that just don't seem to add up. For an example, the CCTV footage shows Han interaction with McGregor and other after the alleged incident in ways that don't really scream trauma. She's seen kissing McGregor and even his friend at one point, and she stayed at the hotel, continued to party and drink for hours. That behavior has raised a lot of eyebrows and led people to question the credibility of her claims. And it doesn't stop there. Witnesses, including Han's own friend, gave testimony that contradict part of her story. On top of that, she reportedly sent McGregor suggestive messages before meeting up with him and voluntarily went to his hotel room. Again, this doesn't prove nothing happened, but these details have made people question whether the full story was told. Now, something important to keep in mind that this was a civil case, not a criminal one. The burden of proof is completely different. In a criminal trial, you need evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to convict someone. In a civil court, the standard is much lower. The jury just has to believe it more likely than not that the allegations are true. That's why McGregor was found liable in this case. It doesn't mean that he's guilty in the way that we think of in a criminal trial, but it does carry some serious consequences for him. And let's be honest here, this case is just the latest chapter in McGregor's long history of controversies. This isn't the first time his behavior has come under fire. He's been caught up in public altercations, accused of cheating on his longtime partner Deke Devlin, and even filmed doing drugs on multiple occasions. None of that directly ties to this case, of course, but it all adds to the image of someone who's reckless and frankly self-destructive. Whether it's throwing a dolly at a bus or punching an old man in a pub, McGregor has a long track record of questionable decisions. This civil case is just one more thing on top of an already messed reputation. That said, you cannot ignore the fact that McGregor still has an enormous fan base. There are people who will defend him no matter what because of what he's accomplished in MMA. He's one of the biggest stars the sport has ever seen, and his impact on the UFC is undeniable. But for others, the case is just more than proof that he's spiraling out of control. They see a guy who let his fame and fortune go to his head, and now he can't seem to get out of his own way. What is clear though is that this case is a turning point for Conor McGregor. Whether he bounces back or this marks the start of a real decline for him is up to him. He's got to take responsibility for his actions, whether or not you believe the court's decision was fair, and figure out how to move forward. Right now, he's losing trust from the fans, brands, and the public in general. At the end of the day, McGregor's got a choice to make. He can either keep heading down this path and let his legacy be defined by controversy, or he can make some real changes and try to rebuild his image. It's not gonna be easy, but if he can take this seriously, this case could be the real thing that overshadows everything he achieved in his career. Only time will tell how things will play out, but one thing is for sure, this isn't going away anytime soon. Honestly though, I really hope McGregor finds his way through this and turns things around. It will be great to see him have a redemption arc, kind of like a Mike Tyson, where he grows and changes and becomes a better man. Maybe he gets in a few more super fights, like a potential one against Michael Chandler, though let's be real, who knows if that fight will ever actually happen now. And then just call it a career. He's getting up there in age, and it'll be cool to see him tone things down and focus on his life outside of the octagon. But that's just my take. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one.